thanks for chatting first of all, Dane. Great to catch up with you. And a couple of months into retirement, how are things?
Very different, yeah. The hectic schedule has gone out the window. A more sedate way of life, which I'm taking a bit of time to adjust to. But it's nice to be here with my family and that. And I wouldn't say enjoying the weather, because as you can see, it's been pretty miserable for the last 8-9 months. But I'm starting to get a little bit more weatherproof and waterproof now after spending a winter in the UK.
And when you look back, I'm sure you've had plenty of time to look back, what are the real moments that you're super proud of from your long career?
Yeah, it goes back a long way. I suppose more recently, Dania, to win on him World Cup night was fantastic. Of course, to overturn a suspension as well, to ride him on World Cup night, which I don't think everyone realises, but it was kind of almost fated really to do that, and for him to win, it was super special. And I can't mention him without mentioning Al Farik, who of course won back-to-back, I think it was Jebel Hattas, wasn't it? So he was a big horse in my career as well. But other horses like Durabas and of course Barbecue Eddie, so many, fantastic memories of Dubai. And
a lot of success here as well, mostly in the blue and white, is that fair?
Yeah, that'd be fair to say, yeah. To win the sort of the first running of the Commonwealth Cup on Muharrar was fantastic. It was my first and last time to ride him. Of course, he went on to bigger and better things with Paul Hannigan, champion sprinter namely. But yeah, so many good memories. I mean, to ride some of the the fantastic horses that Shad will have had, the likes of Tagruda, and so many others. Baid, of course, Mohathar. Yeah, just a long list of good memories, really. Yeah.
And were there any advantages to wearing the black cap?
You normally got a little bit more of a free rein. You normally kind of got left alone. Sheikh Hamdan, bless him, when he was still with us and he used to come in, he never really tied us jockeys down to much. He would never say much to either Paul Hannigan or Jim Crowley or myself, whoever was riding for him that day. But you always tended to sort of get to sort of do your own thing a little bit in the black cap. But no, I never felt any pressure even when I wore the main cap, because you knew most of these horses very well, so that was always a big help. But no, the black cap could be dangerous, which was good, because it meant as second jockey I was still competitive even on the second string.
Yeah, absolutely. And you didn't have to make the really tough decisions?
No, I didn't, no. And there was probably one or two occasions. Actually, Muharrar, when he won at Newbury, he won in the pink cap. Frankie rode him. So yeah, it was always dangerous no matter what you were on, really, I suppose.
And after Sheikh Hamdan sadly passed away, did you have much involvement with Sheikha Hissa?
I did. She was, like her father, she was instrumental in sort of appointing me and keeping me on, which surprised me a little bit, because obviously there was big cutbacks when Sheikha Hissa took over, and it was a great call to receive from Angus Gold to say that Sheikha Hissa was interested in retaining me and keeping me on, and I was delighted to take that opportunity with both hands. With the added bonus of when I went to Dubai, I would be first jockey there, and I would keep all those rides when Jim Crowley came over. So I had a real purple patch from the off with the association with Sheikh Hissa.
Now, tell me about your appetite, because I'm fascinated by this. Every time a jockey retires, I think, well, they must think, well, the rest of us think about our death row meal. You must think, what's the meal I'm going to have when I retire? But it hasn't quite been like that for you.
No. After 32 years of stopping myself eating when I wanted to eat and what I wanted to eat, I suddenly found myself being able to do whatever I wanted. But I suppose the old habits don't go away, really, and the appetite hasn't really returned. But then again, I don't mind. It's actually not as enjoyable as I thought it would be, being able to eat what you want when you want. So yeah, I've still got the same appetite as I used to when I was a jockey, but I do eat a little bit more. But I haven't put on much weight, so if I ever got the call up and I got the clearance to ride, it wouldn't take much. I wouldn't take much getting ready.
Are you finding you're missing the riding?
Yeah, it's still taking a bit of adjustments. I enjoy watching the racing and that, but there's definitely bittersweet times when you watch it that you definitely miss it.
But you're hoping to stay in the industry in some capacity?
Yeah, I would do, yeah. As I said, I do miss it, and I'd like to stay involved, whether that be, possibly maybe a starter or a stewarding role. I've spoke to people in the BHA and asked them to keep me in mind if something becomes available. or maybe sort of, you know, on the ground in a yard, maybe in some way able to help and put something back in.
And at the moment, sadly, you're not able to even ride for pleasure?
No, not allowed to ride out even, or probably sit on a horse, because as I said, they're not the most predictable of animals. But the injury hasn't healed obviously as much as we'd hoped, so there's the risk is still there. So obviously I'm safer on the ground than I am on horseback. If
you met someone now who was, let's say, 12, 13, that wanted to be a jockey, would you say it's a great career, go for it, or would you say do something else? No,
I'd definitely tell them to chase it. Definitely, it's a fantastic career, and it's took me all over the world and my family. I'd say, listen, make the most of it, put 100% in, but it's definitely, you'll get so much back from it.